Footage. I'd like to ask Dr. Shermer a question. They just showed the Dachau gas chamber in that footage. Is that gas chamber ever claimed to have killed people or not?
No, and in fact, the important point here is that
there's a sign at Dachau notifying tourists of that fact.
It was not used to kill people. So why did you just show it in the clip?
Oh, I'm not at all sure that was Dachau. That was Dachau.
Oh, that wasn't. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. You're not sure that was Dachau. You show a clip on your show, and you're not sure it was Dachau.
Okay, look.
Interest in what these people are saying. She was a survivor, and we'll be back in just a moment. We lost David Cole. We're joined by Edith Glick, who was taken to Auschwitz at age 17 with your mother and your 3 sisters. That is your sister, with whom we've been speaking here just a moment ago. She is, and you then, are the only survivors of your family. What would you want to share with us, Mrs. Glick? You've heard the testimony of Mr. Smith.
Yes, I'm not shocked because I have heard it before. But when we arrived in Auschwitz, there were 4 sisters and 1 brother, and my mother, who was 39 years old. And my brother was taken on they separated the male from the female right away. And then I can still see Mengele was standing there.
Joseph Mengele.
Yes. He was standing there. He had a vest on. He was pointing with his fingers which way to go. They separated the young from the old. And my sister and myself, he directed on one side, and my mother and the 2 younger sisters on the other side with the old people. My mother was still 39 years old, and my 2 younger sisters started crying terribly that Mengele separated them. So Mengele didn't want to have a big commotion, so he directed my mother back to them. So we said with my sister that it's good that my mother went on that side with them because they need her more than we did because we were older. And when we arrived in the middle of the night in Auschwitz, we saw that big flame far away and a big chimney that smoke was coming out. And that group that my mother and younger sisters and a bunch of older and younger people marched towards that big flame, and we never saw them again. And afterwards, people who were there 2 or 3 years before us was telling us, do you think that you're going to see your family again? They are in that smoke already. They are burning. So we thought that they are there such a long time that they lost their mind already. And we didn't believe them. But they kept telling us, and people who was working in the crematorium and the gas chambers for about 6 weeks, they came back at night and they told us what they saw. That people were gassed, and then they were transporting people from the gas chambers to the crematorium.
Right.
And after 6 weeks, they disappeared because they were gassed themselves. The German, they were working very systematically. They didn't want any living proof.
Yes. I believe you. I believe what you said.